Most women don't stay in exhausting jobs because they love the work. They stay because they are afraid of the unknown. And I get that, because what no one teaches us is that fear doesn't come from lack of courage. Fear comes from lack of clarity, and courage does not calm down the anxiety that you feel. Clarity does. So today I'm going to show you what I believe to be the one calculation that removes panic, that restores power, and that gives you options without quitting your job, without risking everything, and without feeling like you have to burn down your life. So this is called the soft landing numbers. And once you know it, once you know your number, because it's different for everyone, once you know it, fear will lose its voice. And once fear loses its voice and it has numbers, it'll stay quiet. And if you're new here, my name is Naisha Nicole. And if you've seen my face before, you know that we are 100% locked in. And this is a channel and space of honesty. So welcome back to the channel. So the first thing you have to do is you have to expose the false premise, the false thing that we've been living under as women for generations. And that's, I can't afford peace. That thought process, it sounds mature on the surface. It truly does. And I've read all of the comments. I have. And I've seen the comments where it says, well, peace don't pay the bills, or peace don't put food on the table. And I get it. It doesn't. But on the surface, that thought process sounds very mature, but it's actually avoidance dressed up as wisdom. And you know I'm going to call things out. It's like refusing to check your bank account and calling it anxiety or trusting the process. So women end up staying longer than they should. They're quieter than they want to be, and they're more depleted than they are healthy in the end. And it's not because they've actually sat down and ran the numbers. It's because they never did. They never took a look at their numbers. And most women don't know how much they actually need to live, how much of their income is fear-based, and how much pressure they're absorbing unnecessarily. They don't. So instead of getting clarity, you guess. You guess and you try to figure out. And guessing with your life is like driving at night with the lights off and calling it being responsible. Guessing keeps you trapped. Guessing is expensive. Clarity, on the other hand, is cheap. And when the numbers are clear, emotions calm down. Numbers are like a flashlight in a dark room. Suddenly, that anxiety goes away when you cut that flashlight on. Doesn't matter if nothing in the room changes. It's just that you just stop bumping into things. So here's the new premise I want to challenge you on. The new belief I want you to think about and learn and adopt. I don't need a dramatic exit. I need a stable foundation. That foundation is going to be your soft landing numbers, not your dream salary. That's not what this is. Not your future goals. That's not what this is. Not your one-day vision. I'm keeping it realistic. This isn't, and I'm not saying your dream salary and your future goals and your day one, your one-day vision isn't valid. I'm saying that's not what this is. This is your minimum numbers that gives you safety, that gives you clarity, and that gives you peace. Because peace does not start with a leap. It starts with a floor. And as a nurse practitioner, I have worked with women that push themselves past reasonable limits every single day. Women that made excellent money, really good money. I mean, 7 figures type money, but living in constant anxiety. Why? That doesn't make any sense, right? Why? It's because they didn't know their real numbers. They thought that if they left, everything around them would collapse. They thought if oh man, if I slow down, I'll fall behind. Or if I don't push myself, I'll lose everything. Those were the thoughts. Those were the exact quotes that they used to tell me. But when we actually have the opportunity to sit down and look at the math, they were not trapped by reality. They were trapped by assumption. And for many, assumption feels real. But the thing about it is, assumptions are not facts. They never have been. And fear sometimes can be very convincing. It truly can. Especially when it's never challenged by math, fear can feel very real. But once a woman sees the real numbers on paper, something inside of her shifts. It's like she gets to breathe fresh air. It's like every decision that she makes moving forward becomes a little bit more grounded. And to me, that isn't emotional healing. That's what happens when your brain finally feels safe enough. That's not emotional. That's not emotional healing. That's clarity. Your soft landing numbers have 5 parts to it. I want you to think of it like building a house. If the foundation is weak on any house, everything on top will always feel shaky, no matter how pretty it looks from the outside. So I want you to grab a pencil, grab a piece of paper, and we're going to go through this step by step. And if you want this in a PDF, let me know in the comments. So number 1, you need to figure out what your essential living expenses are. This is survival math, not lifestyle math. So I want you to go ahead and get that out of your head. This isn't to keep up with your fabulous lifestyle. This is survival. Okay. So you need to know what your house, your mortgage, rent, something like that is. You need to know what your utilities are in your house, how much you're going to spend monthly on food, your transportation, that includes gas that you may need and maintenance, those things, your insurance, life insurance, car insurance, home insurance, whatever it is that you have, and your minimum debt obligations. That's your credit cards, your student loans, all those things. You need to write it down. You can do it on a Word doc and just write it down, but you need to know those numbers. This number doesn't impress people. It's not to make it seem like, oh, you're trying to impress anyone. No, it is supposed to protect you. These numbers are your protection. Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2 is your stress stabilizers. Now, these are the expenses that protects your nervous system. If you work in healthcare like me, there's certain things that are non-negotiables. So I know for some of the physicians that I've worked with in the past, they've got a gym membership. That's a non-negotiable for them. But these are things like childcare. You got to factor that in, because how are you going to be able to do what you do if you have younger kids or anything like that, and you don't know that they're going to have babysitters or whatever that may be? So you need to know what your child care is going to look like, how much that's going to cost you per month. Your meal support, whatever that is, whether it's, going to dinner, out to dinner once a month, and you don't have to have that. That's just something that I'm adding in there. Therapy or coaching. If you don't do therapy and if you don't do coaching, you don't have to worry about it. But there are some people that therapy or coaching is non-negotiable. Your transportation convenience. So that's like Uber, or that's like, Lyft. If you have to do that. So for people that live in the city, that it just makes sense. Or if you take the bus or you take the train, or the subway, something like that. And then I'm going to call it rest support services. But the whole point is these are the things that stop your nervous system from screaming. This is what you want to put into this category. The things that's going to stop your nervous system from shouting at you. And it's like, if you remove these things, it can make your life harder. So that's how I want you to think about it. If you remove this thing, if you remove your therapy sessions, for example, it might make your life harder. These are not luxuries. These are stabilizers. So let me make that clear. Not luxury stabilizers. Childcare is not a luxury. It is a stabilizer. In some cases, therapy is not a luxury. It is a stabilizer. Okay? Because peace, and the thing that I had to realize, peace is not free, but chaos is more expensive. So keep that in your mind. Number 3, protection buffers. To me, this is the step I feel like people skip. I feel like women skip this step. And what happens is they end up paying for it emotionally. This is like the shock absorber on your car, if you want to look at it like that. You don't plan to hit potholes when you're driving, I guess, unless you live in like New York or something like that. But you do plan for the road. The buffer doesn't mean that you're scared. It means that you're prepared. This is like, oh my gosh, I need maintenance for my car that is unexpected. This is your shock absorber. Your protection buffer. It's like, oh gosh, this bill came out of this medical expense came out of nowhere and it needs to be paid. Your protection buffer. It is important that you have that. Number 4 is your baseline lifestyle. This number is so important. This is I can breathe number. Not thrive, not hustle, but it's just a grounded number. This is the number that allows your body to relax just a little bit. And it has to be a realistic number. All of these numbers, it has to be a realistic number. Nothing that is unobtainable. Okay? And number 5 is your time horizon. How long does these numbers need to sustain you? For some, it could be 6 months. For some, it's 3 months. For some, it's 30 days. Whatever it is, to me, time equals options. Time is what turns money into peace. Money without time is just pressure. And the funny thing about that is, and it's not so funny, is people believe that money is the end game. Money is just the resource to get to the end game, which is time. Money, a bunch of it, gives you the opportunity and the space for more time. You can buy back your time. So that's what this soft landing numbers, this is what it's intended to do. Help you buy back some time. So here's what knowing your soft numbers will actually give you. Negotiating power, boundary confidence, decision clarity, reduced panic, and strategic patience. Because this isn't quitting math. This is freedom math. When you know your numbers, you stop rushing. You stop over explaining yourself. You stop begging for permission. You stop making these choices based on fear. Because panic can't survive precision. It can't. And in my last video, I mentioned that I'm working on this peace return on investment framework. And this one number, this one calculation is the foundation of the entire system. system. So let me know in the comments if you want me to walk you step by step through calculating this number, stabilizing yourself emotionally in the entire bridge season, creating peace without sacrificing financial safety. Because the truth is that I'm not teaching anyone how to quit. That's not what my goal is. I'm not teaching women how to quit their job. No, I'm teaching women how to stop being trapped by the numbers that they never calculated. That's what I'm doing. I'm teaching women how to stop feeling like they're trapped by their job. And knowing these numbers is one of the most important steps. So if you want me to go through it, maybe I can do a live or something like that. Let me know in the comments. I want you to put in the comments, yes, do a live, because I'll do a live and we will walk through these numbers and calculate it out step by step. Because to me, 2026 does not belong to the most exhausted women. No. We're not going to be exhausted in 2026. No, we will be prepared in 2026. And I always want you guys to know that you're not irresponsible for wanting peace. I don't care what anyone tells you. You're not. You're valid for wanting peace. You're not weak for needing stability. You're not behind for wanting clarity. And don't let anybody tell you any different. What you are is strategic. And to me, when a woman knows this number that we just went through, when she knows this number, she stops begging for security and starts building it on her own. Because peace is not expensive. Ignorance is, though. And now you've been informed that we're going to go into 2026 prepared. I appreciate you guys so much. Our community is growing. We have now surpassed 10,000 subscribers. And as promised, I am going to do a giveaway. I want you to comment the word peace in this description of this video. You also have to be subscribed to the channel. And this is not something that's sponsored. This is not something that is from a brand or through you or from YouTube. This is something that I'm personally doing as a way to say thank you to my subscribers, because I truly do appreciate all of the support. And I just want you guys to know that. So I'm going to pick 3 of my subscribers, and I'm gonna repeat the rules again. You have to be subscribed to the channel, and you have to comment the word peace in this video, and I'll put an announcement on the community page as well. I appreciate you guys. My name is Naisha Nicole. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.